Well, there's going to be no working in the shop this week. We're going on holidays. Can't wait to get out of here, get a little break. But we've got a plan, and we're going to go through, the east and the west Kooteneys in British Columbia, over the mountains, over Banff, Radium, Parks, and then down south, and then across Highway 3, over the crest of Selmo Pass. Some of the most beautiful country that you can ever imagine. So I want to just show you some pictures of the great scenery, majestic. And the thing about it is, I love the ruggedness, especially when you get up high near the summits of the mountain passes. It's just something about it, it's just so, and wild, and it's a call, right? There's a call there of the wild. I grew up in these mountains, and as a young boy, on a ranch right at the base of what we call the steeples in the Rocky Mountains, and never spent any time in the house, hardly at all. I was outside all the time. I just loved being out there, sneaking up on animals and hiking and climbing stuff that you shouldn't be climbing. And so there's something about this whole area that just really blesses me. It just really encourages me. So the plan is we're going to just drive, an hour and a half, 2 hours some days, and find a place to stay and just relax, maybe read a little bit and hang out with my wife. Maybe we got a cooler in the car, so we're going to just eat out of that because the restaurants are all closed at this time. And the reason that we're going to really take it easy, again, is still just the carryover. They were right at the tail end of the COVID thing here. In fact, in a couple of weeks, our province of Alberta is going to totally open up. You don't even need to wear a mask. It's going to be awesome. But we're still actually a little bit lethargic because of the COVID stuff that's hanging on in our bodies. And so, we just got to take it easy. So we're going to mount the camera in interesting places on the car and wherever. And we're going to have picnics wherever we can find a nice spot to have a picnic. And this is the summit of the Creston Selmo Pass. It's a highway that just goes straight up and then straight down again. And right at the top is this lake. It's absolutely fascinating and cold, like everywhere else. It's like 30-some degrees today, but up here on the top, it's really cold. I don't know, maybe 18, 17, 16, but the wind is pretty raw as well. So we're enjoying it. Fresh air, man, it's just so awesome. On this trip, we're going to begin by just hanging out with my wife. Second day, we'll end up at the homestead where I grew up, my brother's family, visit them for a little while, and then move on. My stepmom living in the city there where I went to school, where I was born actually. And then we'll head further west and visit our very good friends, Jim and Doreen Reimer, and they live in Nelson, BC, a quaint little town. You got to get a load of this Dairy Queen. This town is so quaint. The rules are so stiff, right? That there's no Tim Hortons, no, fast food, no KFC, no A&W, no McDonald's, none of that allowed in the town because we're going to keep it quaint. It's one of the oldest towns in British Columbia, and some amazing old buildings. But I love this. This Dairy Queen somehow snuck in there years ago, obviously, because it's the only one that looks like the original Dairy Queen when I was a kid, and they don't serve hamburgers. So Jim and Doreen, we're going to go there with them, just for some fun, get an ice cream and hang out. And then next day we're going to head over to Castlegar to meet some other very good friends that we've known for a number of years as well. Oh. Well, here we are, hanging out with Kurt and Tony.
Yeah.
Who'd have guessed, eh?
Yeah.
So we are now in Castlegar.
Yes.
It's kind of like that's where you guys are living, so that's really cool. So how long have we been friends for?
We've been friends for since about 04, 05, somewhere in there, yeah.
What year is it now?
15 years.
So it's getting close to 20 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a great friendship. We really appreciate you guys. It's been so good hanging out. You've always been such encouragers, for us. And and that's really cool. So
Ditto back. Man, you guys have prayed us through a lot of stuff.
That's true.
A lot of stuff.
yeah, well, that's what it's about, isn't it? The relationships, and so yeah, we're just happy to hang out with you guys and eat your steaks last night. That was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Alberta beef. If you haven't tried Alberta beef,
You are missing.
at least I guess it came from BC, maybe. Cut that
We're
together.
from BC, so we like to think that it was BC beef.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
sure.
could have been BC, Alberta. Who cares? It was
Yeah.
dead and it was cooked and it was
I
good.
don't think the Alberta beef are allowed to come over here right now because
That's
Cool.
right. Yeah.
COVID.
we're not allowed to. You know what feels really weird?
Cool,
Like I
yeah.
grew up in this province, right, in
Yeah.
the Kooteneys, not
Yeah.
far from here.
Right.
And Terry and I, it's illegal for us to be here. And
It's
we're driving
so
down the
funny.
road in our 29 Dodge, right, with the Alberta plates on.
Right.
And thinking, should I get out and put some mud on the license plates or whatever?
Take them off.
Because we're not the interprovincial. Like when did the provinces become sovereign?
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to know. Where you can't travel from one to the other. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's very sketchy.
That's a very
ground that
polite
they're-
way to put it.
Yeah, yeah. And we probably won't go too far down that trail, right, Tony? Because that would not be good.
No.
But anyway, yeah, it's just great to be hanging out with you guys. And Kurt's going to sing for us. That's the cool
That
thing.
is awesome.
And he's the guy that, I mean, probably the first time we saw you, you were doing an Elvis impression, right? Wouldn't
Probably,
it be?
yeah.
You had some kind of a white leather suit on or Naugahyde.
No, I got hide probably.
Could have been black Naugahyde, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was impressive, right? And you do a really good job of that. You become actually quite well known for that, right? Like all over the place for the
Yeah.
impersonating. But you haven't been doing too much of that
No,
in the
not
last number of years.
not for quite a few years.
Yeah, because you got busy pastoring.
Yeah, and as you
church.
get older, all of a sudden, it's hard to imitate young Elvis when you look like an old Elvis, right?
I suppose, eh?
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, I don't even know how old he was.
Yeah.
It all worked.
Well, we went to Hawaii that one time, and of course we went to Waikiki, right?
Right.
And everybody's staring at him, right?
Oh.
And then we go into this one store, and this guy comes up to him, and he looks up at him, because of course he's taller than most people. He looks up at him, and he goes, "Do you know who you look like?" And we're thinking, here we go. And he goes, "An older Elvis."
No.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And that was
me
about
feel
10 years
good.
ago, so
Yeah.
So you think you'd be pushing it a little now?
I think
eh?
it'd be pushing it, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Anyway.
pretty cute.
Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars and I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout all this universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When through the woods and the forest glades I wander and hear the birds sing sweetly in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountain grandeur and see the brook and hear the gentle leaves, then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, when Christ shall come with shout of acclamation to take us home. What joy shall fill my heart, then I shall bow in humble adoration, and they proclaim, oh my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art.
We cruised out here in your Lincoln.
Yeah.
What year's your Lincoln?
It's a 77.
77,
Yeah,
eh?
Mark 5, yeah.
Right. And what engine?
A 460.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
as big as they came, right?
Yeah.
In the day.
Yeah, that's Ford's made bigger, but
Okay.
not in that
car,
series, yeah. And then in this was the last year in 78, all of a sudden emissions said, oh, we better do something, so they offered a 400 instead of the 460.
Oh, okay. Right.
And same thing in 79, all you could get was the 400 because they were trying to be, that was all that oil embargo years.
Right,
and
right.
The
But even in 77, that was half enough horsepower compared to what you need in that car, right?
it really was, yeah. Low compression, smog engine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So wow. That's so. How do you feel riding that thing, Tony? I mean,
Now?
Yeah.
When he first got it, all I did was get seasick.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was because, what was it, the shocks or something were funky on it?
Right.
And it was kind of
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
just floating and you
Yeah.
can't see out. And it had a
Yeah.
couple of leaks, and I was like, okay, round the block, take me home.
Yeah. A lot of
Now
the
it's nice.
exhaust came into the
Oh, yeah.
yeah. cabin at that time, so it wasn't
Right.
very good.
And so you have the hers version, right, of
Yes.
the Lincoln. What year's that one?
It's a
2015.
2015. Yeah.
2015,
Yeah.
eh?
He's got Abe, I've got Babe.
Oh, Abe and Babe. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
Abe and Babe
and I think Babe is probably not seasick.
No.
Temperature controlled.
And Babe has a 4-cylinder, and it'll just beat the tar out of this in a drag race, that's for sure.
And I have heated steering, which is really
Yeah.
important.
And another thing that we really love about you guys, of course, Tony, you've dealt with a lot of your family over the last number of years, and your parents are gone now. Huge commitment, a huge responsibility, right, to see our parents through those last
Yes.
years. And but right now, Kurt's parents are living basically just a floor down from you guys. You bought a house that you can both live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're really, really sweet people. I don't think we ever met your.
No, you
Any-
never
any
met
of
my
your
mom and
family,
dad. No.
yeah.
No. I'm
And,
the black sheep.
Right. Oh, they're the
right.
black sheep.
Depending on how you look at it.
But in the end, it all came out right, didn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good ending for your parents. They-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, I like to bring that up because there's a lot of people that are, watching YouTube videos and stuff that are going through stuff that are just, horrendous stuff or challenging stuff. Like you think it's tough when you find a rust spot on your car, but you got.
You find a rust spot on your person or one of your family members, it's a little different.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it comes down to. That's really the important stuff. So, so it's neat to see that your mom and dad. Of course, we love them. We've known them for a number of years as well, and see them living with you guys and you taking care of them and
It's honorably.
I'm hoping our kids will do the same for us.
Well, you have enough to choose from, so that works out
They
well.
made a lot of promises years ago, you know.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad, when you guys get old, we'll look after you. And I said, I'll probably still be looking after you. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And we don't really have to look after his folks. They're very independent. They're
Right.
they've got more on the ball than most 40-year-olds.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
But it's just really nice to know they're right there.
Right.
You know.
Right. So just give us some. What would you be words of encouragement for people that are going through tough stuff?
That are going through tough stuff. If you have the availability and the accessibility to be with them, be with them, so
Right.
you have no regrets if they do go. I'm sad that my folks are gone, but at the same time, I'm ever so thankful to the Lord that He gave me that time.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
That's sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't have missed that for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. That's one thing that Terry and I find to be quite a challenge. And God has done miracles for us. She was here when her dad passed. We were both here when her mom passed.
Yeah, that was a miracle. Because
And
we're usually overseas. So.
Yeah.
but my parents and my grandparents missed it all. I missed it all, you know. Like we just weren't here, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't just
Yeah.
fly home in the middle of winter and that kind of thing. So so that's mind you, we got lots of family looking after them, so that wasn't the problem. But still, it's something that the heart has to deal with, right?
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is people always say, you know, you kind of remember your last moments with people, right?
Right.
So my last conversations with my parents was hearing them say, I love you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that was the last word I heard my mom say.
Wow.
Was I love you.
So good, yeah.
You know, so
cool.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it really is. It is really cool. Actually, that's one of the reasons behind the whole car cobbler idea. I saw this video of this guy who had rebuilt his dad's pickup truck, and the dad was so impressed, right? Like did the engine, the interior, everything.
Yeah.
And then the dad comes in, you know, he reveals the truck to his dad. That's a big thing, right? Wow, oh
Yeah.
my, you know how you do it right on a reveal. And then the dad says, son, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Well, the YouTube comments just blew up.
Wow.
My dad never ever said he was proud of me, you know, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And you just feel for guys.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people going through so many things, and they need to know, well, there's 4 of us at this table right now that love you, even if we've never met you. So time for one more thing. We got cut off by a dead battery out there at the park, so we're now in Kurt and Tony's house. And we were talking about how to deal with the hard issues in the challenging times, right?
Yeah.
And we just wanted to really encourage you all that you know, when we say that we love you, we really do. There's
Yes.
just something that we're made for that, isn't
We
it?
are.
I mean, and all 4 of us, I don't know, there's long stories, but truth is that's what we've spent our lives doing, right? Is looking after people.
Well, the cool thing is, I thought about this, is that at your lowest point, you can't go lower than God's hand. He's right there to scoop you back up.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so depending on what your lowest circumstance is, but if it is to losing a family member and not being able to be there
Yeah.
like you would like to be, just keep remembering the times that you did have with them, and the ones that you have around you now. Make that point of telling them that you love them.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's huge. So
Yeah.
many people forget
It
that.
sure is.
People don't always know.
Yeah, and I think too that that's one thing. That's a major thing that we need to do at this point. I mean, you know, you can't go lower than God's hand, like you say,
No.
Tony. And God's always there, and you can call on Him at any time, and He will answer. And then, how do you deal with? Like a lot of times, we feel like it's too late, and you've got this regret, like I should have done, I could have been more, I whatever, right? Like that's a huge challenge for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't beat yourself up on that because everybody's created differently. We're created equal but differently. So what somebody else can handle, you might not have been able to do. So don't compare yourself to others. Don't
Right.
compare what you're going through to somebody else. And definitely what my mom and dad always told us, if you did your best, you can't expect anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And if you didn't do your best, just say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And try again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's really good.
Yeah.
Good advice. So,
And nobody ever, when we get to the other side and that person walks up,
right.
they're going to say, it's so great to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
where have you been?
Right,
We,
yeah.
We're waiting.
here we are, and they're not going to bring up, why didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
There'll be none of those, because God isn't saying that either. And
Right.
when they're in His
Yeah.
presence,
That's so
like
true.
we will be, that's not what's going to come out of anybody's mouth.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
why didn't you this or that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Complete grace, complete freedom.
Yeah.
And
You know.
we've got tomorrow. We've got the future.
Yeah.
So we can recreate.
But that's right, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even things that we think, oh man, if I could have done that, and it's too late because maybe that person, they're in heaven now. At least, what was the lesson? The
Yeah.
lesson was that you didn't do that. If you see the opportunity to communicate, like you said earlier, relationships is really what this is all about. There's
Yeah.
no such thing as a hearse with a U-Haul trailer behind
No.
it. It just doesn't happen.
No.
And if it did, it must be for
No.
a joke because
Yeah.
it,
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can't take any of the thing that he's put us on the planet to do is people,
Yes.
relationships,
Right.
Relationship.
That's right.
and
Yeah.
friendships.
Good point.
People, even somebody that you don't have to be their friend, but you might be able to serve them in some way.
Right on. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's and then there's always that thing, on your deathbed, what are you gonna wish for, what are you gonna regret, and you're gonna say, man, I wish I'd have not spent so much time fixing those old cars and spent more time with my wife. And but my answer to that is, honey, I'm in the shop, you know where I am, come out anytime.
Bring the tea and the cookies.
Yeah, bring
Yeah.
the tea and the cookies.
Yeah. So thanks for watching Car Cobbler. Make sure you
Yeah.
subscribe, get more good stuff like this, and just heartwarming and helpful. We just want to be an encouragement to you. So see you next time.
Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art.